So the first thing I want to do in After Effects is to export the video, which we're going to be comping in later as a JPEG sequence. This is how we can bring it into Houdini so we can actually view it while we have the geometry in place. So now in Houdini, I have this desktop as technical. Just, you don't need to change it to technical, just use whatever layout works best for you. And I'm just going to drag and drop the camera track data, starting open, and that has brought in a node, and inside the node there is just one camera. If you exported more data then you would get it, but I just have one camera, and the ground plane is where the table would be. So if I press play, you can see it move. And if I go view through camera, then you see it move, and it's going very fast here. That's because it's not set to real time. So I'll just click this clock here. It sets to real time. Now I'm going to stop that, and first thing I'm going to do is here in view, I'm going to go down to background image, set that to the JPEG sequence we had earlier on. So I have it here in the folder background, and you're going to want to press show sequence and open it. What's going to happen here is you can't see it, and that's just because Houdini presumes that this number here is going to be 1. So I'm going to copy that number. It's going to think it's 1, so what we have to do is make it, this $F pretty much means frame number 1, but since it's a big long number, I'm going to go backtick, which is that's the symbol above the tab key and below the escape key. Then I'm going to go plus. I'm going to paste the number, and I'm going to make it 8. So now, and then backtick again. Now Houdini is going to say it's going to be this number plus 1. It's going to be the first frame, which is the first frame here. Press accept, and I play that, and you can see it's the background from before with the ground plane as the plane here, even though it's a bit out of axis. Now that we have that set up, if we go back to the start, I'm going to go press back up to object level, and we're going to make a fairly basic scene. So I'm going to press Control Grid. What's that going to? That's going to just make a grid on the ground plane. I'm going to click into this grid. I'm going to press backspace, then start typing in transform until I get it, and this is going to be the because it's too big now, I can't see any of the background, and I'm going to connect it, then show it. First thing, I'm just going to go uniform scale, bring it down, and I'm going to not rotate it like that. It's going to rotate it like there, and see, it's moving kind of very fast. You can also use these handles here, and I just want to be able to, I'm going to using these two objects here as a reference for like lighting and the shadow and the reflection. So here will be okay. So that's going to be the ground plane, and then back up the object, and I'm going to press Control box. It's going to make a box, and again it's way too big, so I'm going to go, actually I'm going to delete the box and write well, you can do like pig, so that could be the pig head, or you can write platonic solid and make it a teapot. If I got the scale, you can see. But yeah, I'm just gonna do the pig head, I suppose. Yeah, and we have the pig head, and I'm gonna make another transform And see, when you're in this you couldn't transform from here, but you get a lot more power to do it from this. So you highlight it, make it smaller, and you move it. You see here it's intersecting the plane, so we kind of want to move it up and rotate it. Kind of, if we press escape, we stop viewing through the camera and we can look around. So we want to make sure it's on this plane here. So I'm going to go here, and I don't mind if it intersects it a little bit, just for this example. Like, obviously you'd put a lot more time into it if you were doing it for an actual project, and then just back viewing through the camera. And I'm going to make it a bit smaller too. Move it about again. If I press about there, and if we press escape again just to make sure, yeah, see, look, when I changed the scale it changed the size again, so let's lift it up. So there, so that's where I'll have it, and we can scrub through it. We can see travels with the camera. So now that much of the scene is done, we can do a kind of small preview render, which is if you go here and drag a square, it will render out that much of the view. Just with a little default render node, and this is what we get. And right now it looks completely out of place because we have no lighting. So that's what I'll do now. So I'll exit that and go back up to object level and press escape. And well, first of all, I know there's a big window here, and that most of the light is kind of coming from outside from the sky, but through this window. So, and I know it's from kind of the right snout pointing out that way, so I'm going to escape when I move. So I know the light is kind of be coming from this angle here. Since it is coming through a window, it's also coming from the sky, so it's also going to be kind of pointing upwards. And I'm going to press Control Area Light, and that's just going to shoot the light down from here. And right now it's 1 meter by 1 meter. So if I escape again, and that's the light there, I'm going to make it about 2 meters by 1 meter maybe, or even a bit smaller. If you middle mouse click and then drag, you can kind of finely adjust numbers like that, like I'm doing here. So if we go back now again to the camera and do the render view again, you can see now it looks a bit better. And if I press this display object, we can see that it still doesn't look great. There's no shadow or anything, but you can see it looks better now that we have the shadow lighting kind of alike. And I'd probably play with how this is positioned again, because right now it does look a bit off scale. But if I play through it, you can see it moves with it. So another thing I'm going to do, which the more accurate you want it to look, the more you want to build this like scene. So right now all we have is like a light source and the smallest part of the table. But if this was a big project, you'd be putting like a model maybe all the table and make just walls so the light will reflect off accurately. But for this one, I'm just gonna make another grid, and just from I'm not even gonna go into the grid node. I'm just gonna make it smaller, and this is gonna act as like the roof, just for something for the light to reflect off. I'm gonna want to put it up to about there, and this will add like kind of just a subtle amount of fill back into the the model, and you probably don't really notice it much when we render it out. So you don't notice it, what you do notice it too much a bit there, but it's more for shadows and reflections that's going to be important. And I'm also going to, right now the shadows are a bit too dark compared to all this, so I'm just going to add see up here an environment light, which will fill in all the shadows. Right now it's too bright, so I'm going to maybe bring it to about there, so it just kind of fills in. Like if we press light enabled, we can see saw it was before and after. It just fills out a bit better. And right now I like the way these reflections, they're kind of similar to these ones here, that they're about facing downwards, and getting the light to look the same in the actual footage and the 3D will give you the best results in the comp. So now I'm going to add some material to this by going material palette, and I'm going to click a material palette and I'm just going to drag it over till this is highlighted and drop it there. And this is going to be pretty much what we're going to use to, if you click it we get all this, but this is what we're going to use to kind of simulate a texture like this table here. So if we wait until it renders out to preview what it looks like, it's pretty similar to what it was before, but we have all these different options and I'm not going to really go through any of them. I'm just going to say no reflect lights, and yeah, that's just what I'm going to do. And next there's a lot to learn about all these different, but for all we need now is just a really simple, just for the shadow. So now we're going to actually start trying to render this stuff out. So I'm going to go to render, create mantra PBR, for PBR means pixel based render, and that will take me to this out here. This is the mantra node, and this is pretty much what will be used to render. We're going to make another one, but this is going to be the basic. So I press render. Oh wait, yeah. So here it says cam 1, and that's what the default name of camera is, but since we bring it in from the camera tracker we have to find it. So camera 2, just accept, and then if I say render to end play, it will take a minute, but you should see this here comes up. What this is the it's the render window, so give it a slightly higher quality render. And so that's what we have so far. So first thing I'm going to notice is it's a bit noisy, so I'm going to make it a bit higher quality. So if I go rendering, noise level, I'm just going to add a 0, so it's 0.001, and I'm going to leave everything else. Usually if you want better quality you can up these to say like 4x4 or 5x5, but just to keep it quick I'm going to keep it 3x3. And then I'm going to go to objects. Now I'm going to Control C, Control V to copy, so we have 2 of these now, and I'll show you why in a minute. So the first one, if you click the first node, and we want to go force phantom object, and I want the first grid, which is this grid here. I'm going to phantom that. So now if I render to end play and watch this, so what that does is it renders out. So one render we want just the big head, so that will be this one, number 9 for some reason, and then okay, this happens sometimes, the pixel based render will stop working. And so in the number 2 we're gonna say forced, we can go force mate for this, but to the box object, which is what the pig head was. If you remember, we originally made a box, but it's a pig head. And accept, and so if I render to end play, and it's gonna take a moment again. Just adding this in because I forgot to say at the time, but if you go to your render node and where it says override, underneath the camera, you select override camera resolution, user specific, and type what resolution the footage is. So this is HD, so 20, 10, 80. So yeah, now you see we have no head. This is actually, when we save this out, none of this will be here, so that will be all black, this will be black, and there'll just be this here. But even that we can't really bring into After Effects and pause it well, so we're going to need another what we call image planes. So if you got the images, extra image planes, and you can play around rendering any different kind of combination of these ones. But what I want is to go extra image plane and look for direct shadow matte, and if I press that plus again we'll get another one, and we can go indirect. No, we don't. Sorry, there's a lot of them, but yeah, indirect shadow mate or matte. If I go render to end play now, so right now it looks exactly the same as the last one. If you just wait for it to let out. If we come up here, see, if we go to the first frame, there's just C, which means color or composite, and here we can see there's indirect shadow, direct shadow. So we're really going to use the indirect shadow, which is going to be the it's just going to be the shadow data which we can bring into After Effects. So this looks very noisy to me, so I actually am going to up the quality of this one by another point, and I'm going to set to 4 by 4. And next what we want to do is set somewhere for, I'm just going to delete this one, set somewhere for these two to actually save out. So in both of them you can see the frame range, so we want to set this to, this will just give you the full frame range. So on the first one I'm gonna, this is just where you're gonna save it out, so I'm gonna save it to my D drive. I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna just say tut render, and what I'm gonna name this one is pig head. I'm gonna go dot, and then I'm gonna go, this is really important, $F, and that's what's the name of the that's going to be the number. So if you don't have that $F, then it's just going to save over the same image again and again and again. So you're going to end up with, after maybe 10 hours rendering, you're only going to have one image, and it's just going to have been a waste of time. And then .EXOR, I'm going to go accept. Then on this one I'm going to go with the image output picture, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to find that folder, tut render, and this one I'm going to call shadow, then $F .EXOR, go accept. Now what I'm going to do is you don't have to do this, but if I'm going to link these two up, press this purple here, and this is I'm gonna go use node render settings, so it's gonna say render frame 1 to frame 559, and that's all good for what we got now. And I'm just gonna press render, and this will probably take quite a while to render out, but it's kind of the basis of how you want to render everything out. Kind of just do all your work, then render it out either overnight or whenever it's easy. So yeah, that's all. I've actually rendered out a different sequence just so I can show you how I'd comp it together, but it's the same method. But anyway, back in After Effects, I'm gonna import the two sequences. So what I called the pig head last time, I'm calling diffuse, so I'm gonna import, and also the shadow I'm gonna import. So I have two sequences now, and first thing I want to do is, this is 25 frames per second, and After Effects for me anyway tends to import at 30 frames a second, so I'm just gonna go interpret footage main 25 and 25, and usually if you ever see your footage slip around, that usually means it's something to do with the frame rates are off, and I'm just going to drag it down, and we can see there that it moves. I've done the teapot, which I had already rendered out because I just didn't want to wait for the other thing to render, it would take too long. And I'm going to also drag down the shadow, and I'm going to turn off that layer. So right now it looks like really bad, but there's a plugin which comes with After Effects called Extractor, so EXT Extractor, and I'm just going to put that on the shadow layer, and makes this kind of dark. It makes it kind of dark, but what you want to do is you want to click up here and go to Fresh Shadow, and that makes it kind of a grey and white. And usually what I do is go color correction, levels, and what you want it to be is, you want this here to be white and this here to be black, so you kind of have to play around with this to get it looking kind of like how you want it. And then, so that right now still doesn't look like you could, it just doesn't look right, so what you have to do is go new, solid, and I usually get like an actual shadow, then make it a bit darker. So okay, and then we have this shadow, and we want to place it underneath the shadow layer, and I'm actually going to first I'll turn this off, the opacity, go Luma, matte. So now you see you have just this, that's kind of a shadow, and this is just from here it's just kind of the usual compositing stuff. Like right now it doesn't look great, but if you play with this, like we can get, and you kind of want to do as similar as the other shadows as possible. And we can also, if we pull down this diffuse layer again, oh sorry, this shadow layer, and put underneath again, and get extractor and put on again, and this time go coat and set it to screen. I'm going to turn off that shadow layer, set it to screen, and set this to say 0.2, and what that does is there's a reflection. You can't really see it in the video, but what it usually does is there's a reflection that sends the reflection out. So if we go to reflect also, okay, you can see it better here now. So if I go 0.2, you can see that reflection there, and if I set this to screen, then we see the reflection, and 0.2 go up. So you can kind of see that reflection, and then we can combine it with the shadow, and we play through. And now, up till now, it's just, or after this point, it's just mostly just doing the usual like stuff in After Effects to make it look same as the rest of the footage. Now, one thing you'll notice is sometimes there's this kind of white halo. To get rid of that, you can put the extractor on the pighead layer, the diffuse layer, and change like the lighting around until it doesn't look too contrasty. And see, that's like the difference. Just this here, I'm not gonna. So you can usually blend it in better, and then you can do whatever else you usually do to kind of composite the stuff in. And so you can see how you have a reflection, a shadow. It doesn't quite line up with these ones, although it is a different part of the table. If you can see, it is in shadow, so usually you play around with it. You'd spend longer in Houdini. One thing I will usually do is make an adjustment layer and go hue saturation, which is here, and take it down, and then so kind of try and get it looking proper in black and white first, and then like convert the color. Like one thing I'm noticing here, it's noisy and grainy, and also it's too sharp, so I'd usually go color correction or blur, add a Gaussian blur, and maybe add like 1 pixel of blur, and then you can see why everything kind of like everything's ultra sharp if you ever render it out. So it looks a bit better if it's not so sharp. And then like the effects, color correction, levels, it's also, I think it's too bright, like in these highlights are too bright if you compare it to like everything else, so bring that down. It's very contrasty, so I'd bring that down, and you just want to play with it, so yeah. And if you play it through, maybe, but just do it with like, try it out with your own footage, and it will be kind of better than this probably.